The Nintendo Wii U has been out on the market for roughly 3 years now, and it's sold about 9.7 million units worldwide. Now 9.7 million sounds like a big number, but compared to its competitors, it isn't that much of a big deal. What's even more shocking is that the time that the Wii U's been out on the market selling 9.7 million units, the Dreamcast has actually outsold the Wii U in terms of how long it's been on the market as well in that short time frame. How's it going, guys and gals? Luis here with Gaming Vlog Network, and this is the Nintendo Wii U 3 years later. Now I recently did like a re-review of the PS4 versus the Xbox One since they've changed so much over the last 2 years. And now the only reason I didn't include the Wii U in that video is even though it's a current generation console, I personally don't include it in that because I feel like it's a specifically a different type of console. It's not really competing with the PS4 and Xbox One, it's just its own type of thing. Ironically, despite being in last place in terms of the console war, Nintendo has been the developer or the publisher that's been really supporting the Wii U with first-party franchises, which is something that's not really being done until about this year and next year on the PS4 and Xbox One. Nintendo has absolutely been killing it. Right at the launch of the Wii U, it launched with Nintendo Land, a very unique party game that tried to be like Wii Sports, but in actuality it just wasn't as great, but it did show off some of the unique characteristics that were possible with the Wii U gamepad. Pikmin 3 was a great strategy game, I enjoyed my time with it, and surprisingly it had one of the most fun multiplayer modes I've played in a long time. It's just something I really didn't expect. While Super Mario 3D World wasn't the Galaxy sequel we wanted, it still was a very fun and enjoyable Mario game that actually did multiplayer pretty well compared to other entries in the Mario series. Now the big focus and attraction of the Wii U is the Wii U gamepad controller, at least in the eyes of Nintendo, and they haven't done the greatest job at marketing it. The gamepad is awesome, don't get me wrong, you can play a lot of your main Wii U games on the gamepad by itself as long as you're near the Wii U, and you can even have your TV turned off. You can play the entire game right on the gamepad, and that's a great and amazing feature. Being able to play Super Smash Bros. For Wii U or Mario Kart 8 right on my controller is an amazing feature. But for what it was supposed to be, a dual screen experience where you could have a ton of information all at once and interact with your gameplay, it hasn't done that much of a great job at doing so. Most of the games that use the dual screen experience either just have the game mirrored over to the gamepad or are really rushed games that don't really show that much information or use the gamepad wisely. Those games that do actually use the gamepad wisely are great, but at times they're really just confusing because you don't really know what you're supposed to be looking at in terms of the TV or the gamepad. And another problem with the Wii U gamepad is the fact that many people are seeing it who aren't really into gaming and are viewing it as a media tablet. But here's the thing, it's not exactly like an iPad or an Android tablet. You can't just take this thing around and turn it on and watch Netflix. It's tethered to the console, so you can't really leave that far away from the console if you want to watch Netflix, or you just want to stream some content, or you want to play a quick little mini game. And that's just sort of the problem that the gamepad had with miscommunication with its audience when it originally launched. Third-party support on Wii U hasn't been the greatest. It actually hasn't really been the greatest on any Nintendo console since the NES and the Super Nintendo era. But in terms of third-party games on the Wii U, it started off with an okay launch. It was mostly just remasters and ports of games already on PS3 and 360 being ported over to the Wii U when it first launched, and the first month of content was pretty much like Mass Effect and Batman Arkham City, and after that month it was pretty much over. We didn't see very much content after that from third parties. We got games like Assassin's Creed being ported over by Ubisoft. Rayman Legends was supposed to be an exclusive on the Wii U, but later got re-released to every other console. Watch Dogs was supposedly coming to Wii U too, and it did come, but at a very much later date compared to the rest of the market. So for most console gamers like myself, you have usually two consoles. You have the competitor between the Xbox One and the PS4, whatever one you prefer, and then you have your Wii U, which is the Nintendo console, so you can play your Nintendo games and get your Smash Brothers and Mario Kart fix. And that's pretty much the same story with the Wii U. The Wii U is a pretty good console, but it's mostly just first party and indie support, and I guess virtual console. In this past year, Nintendo has had to pull out the big guns and come out with Mario Kart 8 and Super Smash Bros. Wii U, two great fantastic Wii U games, and not even just Wii U games, two great games of last year in general, some of the best games that came out last year. Now even with those two big games out already, the market share with the Wii U just hasn't really increased as much as Nintendo would hope so with those two games out in the market. This year specifically, Nintendo did decide to release a brand new IP called Splatoon, which has been a hit with a lot of people so far. It's even gone on to sell 1 million units worldwide, which doesn't sound like that much of a big number again compared to everything else, but 1 million units out of 9.7, that's about a tenth of a market share with every Wii U owner. So that's 1 in every 10 Wii U owners actually bought Splatoon. Now aside from their first party and third party content, the Wii U has done a great job at bringing in some indie games over to the platform. Really great indie games like Don't Starve and Guacamelee are all found on the Wii U. And there's even some time exclusives too. Shovel Knight, one of the greatest indie games of recent time, was actually first on the Wii U and then was later ported over to other consoles and also came out on PC along with the Wii U. Mutant Mudds was a really awesome platformer that launched on the 3DS but was later ported over to the Wii U, and then after that was later ported over to PC and PlayStation. And aside from the first party and the indies, there's a lot of virtual console games you can buy on the Wii U, ranging from the NES, the Super NES, Game Boy Advance, Nintendo DS, and even now the Nintendo Wii. So there's a vast library of games you can play from previous consoles on your Wii U, even games that were never released in North America or were just recently translated, like EarthBound and EarthBound Beginnings. Now, in terms of the online network and media consumption, Nintendo has done a okay job with that. For example, notifications and online achievements aren't really that great on the Wii U. In terms of notifications, you get them whenever you see a blue light around the home button on your gamepad, which sometimes you're not really looking at all the time. So it'd be nice to see sort of like a pop-up or some sort of notification. In terms of online achievements, there really isn't any on the Wii U. The developer of the individual game would have to put the achievements within the game itself in order to have some sort of achievement system, and it would be locked into that individual game. Chat is pretty much dead on the Wii U. Even though there's a video camera on the gamepad and you can use it to video chat, voice chat is pretty much non-existent on the Wii U. You can see in some games that have lobbies like Mario Kart 8 and Super Smash Bros., but you don't really want to talk to your friends in the lobby, you want to talk to them while you're actually playing or racing, and that's just a feature that Nintendo just refuses to put in most of their games and just anything else that is on the console. Just look at Splatoon, a game that was just recently released, heavily team-based, online multiplayer, and there's no voice chat at all, not even in the lobby. I guess one of the better perks with the online infrastructure of the Wii U right now is the fact that you don't have to pay for it. But in actuality, I guess it's also the fact that if Nintendo did charge you to play online with the Wii U, I don't think many people would actually do it. Amiibos have become a really popular thing in recent months with the Wii U and 3DS, and not really for the reason Nintendo intended them to be. Amiibos are little figurines that you can scan with the NFC chip on your gamepad in order to unlock extra content in your video games. Now, the reason they've become really popular so far is the fact that they're really great collectible items for Nintendo fans, and not really the fact that you can unlock extra content for your video game. And so while Nintendo themselves are pretty much selling out of Amiibos and it's really hard to find specific ones, it's doing really well in the market, but not really for the reasons they really intended them to be sold for. Now let's take a look at the year 2015. We just covered E3 and Nintendo just unveiled a couple of games for the Wii U. Or not really unveiled, but really just continued to show off more that were already announced, really. Star Fox Zero is being developed by Platinum Games, and it looks like an awesome spiritual successor to Star Fox 64. Super Mario Maker is a development game that lets you create your own Mario levels themed after Mario Bros. 1, 3, and New Super Mario Bros. Wii U, and it looks great. I got to play it myself, and I enjoyed my time with it. The Legend of Zelda Wii U looks amazing, but it's coming out next year for Wii U. And in my opinion, it's probably the very last big Nintendo title that's coming to the Wii U. And that's where we get to the main point of this video, the fact that the Wii U is currently in a transition phase. What I mean by that is that Nintendo actually announced their new console already, the Nintendo NX, that's set to be unveiled officially at next year's E3. And with that said, it sort of shows that Nintendo is ready to just start the next console already, even though the Wii U's been out for roughly 3 years. By looking at the games we saw at E3 this year, most of them were games that were already announced and they're just being localized over to North America if they're not out yet, or they're coming out later this year. The Legend of Zelda Wii U is the very big title that's coming out for Wii U, but it got delayed to probably late next year, and because of that, it most likely suggests that that's very much the last game we're going to see for the Wii U from Nintendo, at least a very big one. Probably by the year 2017, the NX will be out on the market and the Wii U will just be a thing of the past like the Wii is right now. Now, you can currently buy a Wii U Splatoon bundle for $300 that includes the 32GB console and a copy of Splatoon. Now, depending on where you live and where you buy your Wii U, there are other SKUs where it comes with a different game. Now, for $300, I don't really recommend a Wii U right now. I do think it's a great console with a lot of awesome games, but I don't really suggest you buy a $300 console for just Smash Bros. Or Mario Kart 8 or Splatoon right now. It's a great console, don't get me wrong, but I highly recommend you try to find it at a cheaper price, or at least try to find a bundle sometime at this holiday season where they just pack in a lot of great games. So for $300, you get the games you really just want to get when you buy a Wii U. So overall, the Wii U is a pretty great console. There's a lot of games that I really love playing on my Wii U. I still play Splatoon, I still play Smash Bros, and I hop on Mario Kart Online every once in a while. But for $300, I just don't think it's worth the $300 investment to buy $60 games, maybe like 2 to 3 games you really want to play on the Wii U right now. Wait for it to go on sale, because the Wii U right now has an expiration date and it's coming up pretty soon. Be sure to check out the other video in this series that was between the PS4 and the Xbox One. Same type of video, but just for the 2 different consoles. That will be in the link in the description below. Once again, thank you all very much for watching the video. Be sure to give it a like if you enjoyed it, share it with your friends, it really helps me out. And as always, discuss what you guys think about the Wii U in the comment section below. Just please be respectful to one another. I'm not saying the Wii U sucks and it's garbage. I love my Wii U, I love playing it. I just don't think it's worth $300 right now. And once again, thank you all very much for watching the video, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Later.